Make a homemade AM radio antenna. AM radio may be a thing of the past in this day and age of computers and fast internet speeds. However, there are certain situations that may still require listening to the AM radio. Severe weather disturbances that could shut down electricity and other telecommunications systems are not a far-fetched possibility. And the only thing you could turn to for important news updates would be your good old AM radio. Having a homemade AM radio antenna then would be useful for such situations to guarantee that you get the clearest possible reception. Have all of the things you need for making a homemade AM radio antenna set up. Have sufficient lengths of insulated wire with a gauge of 22. Also, 2 separate pieces of wood cut to the length of 24 inches, width of 1 inch, and thickness of about ½ inch. Have another piece of wood cut to the dimensions of 30 inches in length, 4 inches in width, and 2 inches in thickness. Have different sizes of nails and screws, and a roll of sturdy twine for the project as well. You will also need a hammer and appropriate sizes of screwdrivers for the project. Create the frame for the homemade AM radio antenna. Get the 2 pieces of wood with the same dimensions and make a frame shaped into a cross. Secure it in the middle with screws, nails, or twine. Grab 4 pieces of small nails and hammer each of these into each of the cross frame's ends. Make sure that about 1 centimeter of each of the nail's end is sticking out from the wood. Set the cross frame for the homemade AM radio antenna onto a wood base. Have this frame firmly set standing up on one of its spokes onto the other piece of wood. Secure the frame to the wood base either with screws or nails. Of course, you have to make sure that the cross frame is properly positioned in the center of the wood base. This is important so that the homemade AM radio antenna will be stable. Start coiling the insulated wires on the homemade AM radio antenna's frame. Remember the nail ends poking through the wood of each spoke. These nail ends will be used to hold the wires that will be wrapped around the frame. Now, have your length of insulated wire and start coiling it around the frame's spokes. Repeat this process about 5 times, or depending on how much insulated wires you have left. Just make sure that you leave enough for the purpose of attaching the antenna to the AM radio later. Now, all you need to do is to position your newly made AM radio antenna. The best location would be outside the house, screwed securely onto a section of the outer wall. Now, grab the remaining length of the wire and remove its covering about 1 inch from the end. Finally, Hook up the exposed copper wire onto the AM inputs of your AM radio.